We interrupt your regularly scheduled podcast for breaking news with breaking news.
Good evening, I'm Breaking News. There have been widespread reports of mass injuries coming from the annual Nagoya Sumo tournament. A number of wrestlers have been stricken with surprise incidents that have forced them to withdraw from the tournament. We go live to our senior injury correspondent, Izzy Dead Yet, on the scene. Izzy?
Oh, it's absolute chaos out here, Bray. We got Rikishi dropping like flies off a bug zapper over here. They've already lost 3 of the big kahunas, Hakuho, Kakuryu, and Tochinoshin. What's that? I'm getting word now that Ichinojo has fallen down and taken out Endo, Shohoza, and Ikioi. It looks like all 3 are going to be Kyujo as well. My goodness, right in front of me right now, Takayasu has gone down. Looks like Mr. Yasu hasn't quite recovered from that there building falling on him 2 months ago. And as Mr. Yasu hands in his Kyujo card, Goedo is right beside him for an as-of-yet unknown reason. Everything is breaking down out here just like my marriage. We're going to hand it back to you, Bray, before Mo go down. Oh, God, no, not me, Takayumi, too.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
The unofficial sumo podcast.
For official sumo fans.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan.
This is Flerick.
This is Jake.
This is Mac.
And this is our midway episode for the Nagoya basho. This is going to be through day 8, which Flerick tells me is called Nakabi.
That's what Kintamiyama tells me.
And Kantamiyama says it, that is...
It is law.
It is law. And so the big story, you may have heard the news break at the top of the podcast, no Yokozuna remain.
Yeah, it's outrageous. I came into this basho with such high hopes, but Yokozuna have been kind of dropping like flies. First Kiso, then Hakuho, and then Kakuryu towards the end.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, as Flerick said, Hakuho was the first out. He was 3-0, but kind of a really surprised Kyujo, I think, because he had showed no real signs of injury, but it looks like he had damage to the right side patellar tendon, suspicion of a Volsion fracture in the right tibial tuberosity.
That's a made-up word.
That is not a real word. Where'd you get that, Flerick?
I don't know.
Whatever. Bone near the knee.
Okay, all right, okay.
Is the definition.
Good translation.
Yeah. It requires 2 weeks of rest, so it doesn't sound like anything that should keep him out for the next basho.
Yeah, I did look up what an avulsion fracture is, and apparently that's where a tendon or a ligament pulls off a piece of the bone.
Ugh.
And it sounds like that's somewhere kind of close to the knee. It sounds pretty serious, but apparently only 2 weeks, so...
I love the classic sumo answer of, yeah, just 2 weeks of rest, you know.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Enough that you won't bother me for the rest of the basho, but not also speculate that I'll be out longer.
Yeah. A real Yokozuna injury right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And so it was kind of a weird thing. So right before Hakuho's bout against Shodai on day 2, he slipped in the dressing room. He thought nothing of it, and then he felt some pain, but nothing serious. And then the night after, the situation deteriorated, and he could hardly move. He iced the place that was hurt and decided to wait till the morning of the 4th day, and that morning he was in pain, and that's when he decided to pull out for the rest of the basho. Really throwing a wrench into things, but that day, Kakuryu would fall to Ikioi, and then the day after that, Kakuryu would fall to Abi, and then the day after that, to surprise to barely anyone, Kakuryu was also Kyujo.
I thought he would have another day, at least, like maybe get another loss, because I think even with 2 losses, you're still in the Yusho race.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was worried about falling behind in our power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to the specifics later, but had he lost again, he might have fallen down another rank. So
It's very prestigious to be
man.
at the top of those power rankings.
that's probably what was on his mind.
Yeah. And all we're getting out of the Kakuryu camp is vague elbow injury stuff, so doesn't really sound like anything too specific, just soreness in that elbow.
But couldn't we have seen this coming? I mean, he'd already given up 1 Kinboshi, and then he gives up another one to Abi, who this is his 2nd Kinboshi, you know, and he's still an up-and-comer, still a new guy. Is it a pattern that as soon as the Yokozuna start giving up more than 1 Kinboshi, that their next couple days are probably going to be Kyujo?
I think my opinion on it is that we know that everybody's got something going on at any given time, and maybe giving up Kinboshis is like their sign to themselves where they're like, okay, yep, I'm really injured enough that it's not worth it.
I mean, we can go back to Aki last year where Hadama Fuji, he was the lone Yokozuna that entered it as Kiseno Sato, Kakuryu and Hakuho had all pulled out, and he lost 3 in a row, gave up 3 Kimboshi in a row, but he still stuck around in there because he wanted to make sure there was a Yokozuna in that tournament.
And that's why I get so confused, because like even if you lose a couple, like you can still be in the Yusha race, as Harumafuji proved.
Yes, exactly.
Well, he proved it with like the worst winning record in like decades,
For
right?
a while, yeah. For quite a while,
there-
especially for a Yokozuna.
Yeah,
I
ended
agree
with
there, but
11-4, right?
Yeah.
Was it 11-4 at the end?
It was
I thought
11-4. Nope, 11-4.
No, 11-4.
Okay, so that's probably as bad as it gets. But I don't know.
Still, he won.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like in competitive spirit, like you can beat all the good guys on a good day. So just stick it through. And
I mean,
well,
we
this-
don't know how bad Kakuryu was hurt. It could be something where he can't stick
We
it
are
through.
kind of speculating as if we're assuming that it wasn't, really serious.
Right. He could have re-aggravated that elbow to a point where he can't do good sumo. And if you're at that point, if you're Yokozuna, it's better to pull out because you don't want to retire if you stick in there.
that's a very good point. I guess I'm just I'm very sad that all the Yokozuna, unfortunately, had to drop off.
Yeah. And so you're sitting there on day 5 or 6, no Kakuryu, no Hakuho. Tochinoshin, he's looking real good. He's undefeated. And then he has a match against Tamawashi where he goes down. And you're like, all right, that's not a big deal. But he gets up and he's limping.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear some news throughout the day that Tochinoshin's not looking too good, might go Kyujo. And then the night after, well, I guess the morning after in Japan, after his match with Tamawashi, he is Kyujo because his toe. It sounds like there was a slight tear in the tendon that attaches the toe to the rest of the foot. He gave it a go in training the Monday or the morning after his match with Tamawashi, but the pain was too great to go on.
I love that phrasing there. Is that our phrasing, or did we get that somewhere? The tendon that attaches the toe to the rest of the foot.
I'm pretty sure that's probably like a translation from somewhere. Is where I got that.
It's better than right tibial tuberosity.
Oh yes, some medical terms
Tuberosity.
for stuff.
Tuberosity? Is that the word you're looking at?
Something like that.
I'm not
That's
even going to try.
The Turbo City?
Yeah. Love it. That's a legit bone. I'm pretty sure doctors are the ones making up
You know
stuff
what?
there.
I'm not a doctor, but I've never heard of that bone.
Yeah.
So I think you're making it up.
And I've injured most of my bones. So if I haven't heard of it, no.
Mac is probably the expert there.
Indeed.
We do have a quote from Tochinoshin. It's a little disappointing, and I'm sorry. I want to fight again after putting it on ice for 2 or 3 days. So it sounds like Tochinoshin does want to test it out and give it another go, see if he can come back, because he definitely doesn't want to go Kadoban in his first basho as an Ozeki. But, I mean, with a torn tendon, there's not really a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, probably not. But it sounds like the big thing holding him back is the pain. Like if somehow he can manage the pain, I bet it sounds like he really wants to get back in there.
Yeah. Do we know the last time that an Ozeki went Kyujo or went Kadoban in his first tournament?
Oh, not Kataban. I said if he won the first tournament he came into. But no. I think it
Oh,
was like
you had that fun fact?
I do. It was
ready to fire?
Yeah, it was Hako down like 2003, I think.
No,
So
of
when
course
he
it was.
became an Ozeki, he won that first tournament.
Mhm.
That's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Hako's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, you don't say.
I'm pretty sure I saw on Twitter it's been a little while since a Ozeki has gone Kadoban, his first basho after a promotion, but I'm just pulling crap out of my ass, really.
Yeah, yeah. That.
Like the rest of this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's probably something that I would guess is pretty rare, because if you're just becoming an Ozeki, it's when you're on like the hottest streak of your life. So I imagine that usually carries over a little bit.
Now, do we think he'll stay? I know he'll stay out to rest and recover, but do you think he'll at least attempt to come back toward the end and maybe get those last desperately needed wins?
Knowing him, I think he will try. I would think it'd have to be really serious, like the tendon attaching his toe to the rest of the foot was falling off or something.
His foot is facing the complete opposite direction of where he should be.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing what we do know about him, I think he will probably try. I have no idea if he'll be successful, but I do expect him to give it a shot.
All right, so with those 3 guys out, who's next? Who is safe? Who's going down next?
At this rate, Kisano Sato will be healthy.
Kisano Sato will come in, and then we'll get second week Mitake Yumi, and Kisano Sato will shock the world and win.
With an 8-7. Actually,
Well,
no,
he
at
can
this
only go
point,
7 and 8.
At
At this
saying.
point, he's
No, it's-
only got 7 left.
It's Makikoshi.
All right, speaking of Mitake Yumi is on fire. He always looks good in the first week, or he has recently looked good in the first week. But he is 8-0. He's never looked this good. What do you guys think about Mitaka Yumi going forward for the rest of the basho?
He's looking pretty good, I would say.
That
Obviously,
is correct. I believe I covered that.
Accurately surmised, Flair.
Yeah, I think he's historically, I think a lot of those matchups usually they get tougher for people in the Sanyaku as they go on, and I think it has something to do with his kind of poor record as time goes on. But a lot of the higher ups are the ones getting injured, so I don't think it's going to be all the way win out throughout the whole thing, but I think he's going to end up with a good record.
Technically, there are only a couple guys ranked ahead of him. Ichinojo is technically the top Sekiwake, right?
Yeah,
it might be the other way around.
Yeah.
But
it's Ichinojo. He's the
Okay, but
Sekiwake
then there's only the 2 Ozeki above him. So you got to think that he's favored against everybody else.
Yeah, there's question marks about Takayasu's health at this point still, and Goedo. So,
ouch.
yeah.
All right, who else is in the hunt?
We got Endo, who Fleric so wrongly predicted his demise in the preview episode. We also have Asanoyama. So I got to eat a little bit of crow for both Mitaka Yumi and Asanoyama. Mac picked Mitaka Yumi for the prediction series. I'm like, really? We know what he's all about. Clearly, so far, Mitaka Yumi's proven us wrong. We still have second week to go, where he could probably go 1-6 and finish 9-6.
Channel his inner Goedo and just completely fall off.
But
9-6, you mean the classic Mitaka Yumi?
exactly.
Don't say that.
Asanoyama, we also typically choose in like the prediction series or fantasy, and he's finally living up to that hype of being picked all the time. So Asanoyama, Endo, 7-1, just one match behind Mitaka Yumi, and both guys are going to have significantly easier schedules going forward than Mitaka Yumi. And we also have Ozeki Takayasu at 6-2, alongside of Tochiyozan and Chiyo Taidyu. And so those are your 5 top guys as of now. So we'll get into who you guys think is going to win, but who do you think in the second week is going to look the best out of this group of people?
I don't know exactly if I am predicting him to have as big a second week as his first week, but Chiyo Tairyu has really pulled some stuff together. I think his sideburns, he's letting them grow out a little bit, and he's like Japanese Samson. So the longer they get, the better he gets. He's shown some excellent tachi eyes in particular.
I think he shaved them when he was Komosubi, and we also saw how well that went for him.
Yeah, so maybe if he continues to let them grow out, he'll get back to those heights. But I've just been really impressed with his power, because up until now, his sideburns has really been like the most notable thing about him. I don't think we've ever talked about him for more than a couple sentences on this show, but he's been impressing me. I hope he keeps it together and really comes into his own this tournament.
See, for me, I'm really pulling for Asanoyama. I have been enjoying Mitaka Yumi, obviously, for the prediction series, but Asanoyama was one of those I thought, we'll see how he does, and I have just been blown away with his performances.
Yeah, he's looking
fingers crossed.
Really good so far. He's looking like he's got some high-level sumo down at the bottom of Maegashira rank, so definitely look for him to raise quite a bit before the end of the year. On the other end of the spectrum is Yoshikaze, first guy to Make Koshi this basho. He is 0-8. I imagine he's got to be injured or something, because he just has not looked competitive.
They're not
all.
close fights either.
No, it's not like Yutakayama, who was getting decimated in the last basho when he was going up against the Sanyaku. He was still putting up a good performance. He just happened to lose. Yoshikaze is not competitive at all.
No.
We also have Kyoku Taisei and Sho Hozan pulling up the rear of the pack there at 1-7.
Sho Hozan kind of showing that contrast to Yoshikaze. He's putting up a fight every time, and really putting forth the effort, even though the wins aren't coming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big shame with Kyoku Taisei, because I believe he had a good record in the last basho.
Yeah, he was
Double-digit.
10-5 in his Makuuchi debut.
There seems to be like a pattern where they do like a great basho towards the bottom of it, but then the second one they always do terrible. I think of Daimami with this, because he had the 10-5, but then he went 4-11 the very next basho. Dropped the Jurio.
He's down in Jurio, and I believe he's struggling down in Jurio a little bit. He's at least close to like a 500 record. I think he's around 4-4.
So yeah, not everybody can be a no-show. Blasting off 3 10-5s in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And speaking of a no-show, he is back in the Makuuchi division at Maegashira 11. He is 5-3. Had a 3-match stretch where he was struggling a little bit. Kind of surprised me, but he's picked it back up, starting to look dominant again. So hopefully have a real strong second week out of him. But let's go on to some of the Juryo storylines. It looks like Takanoiwa, I believe, is our leader for Juryo right now at 7-1. There might be some others that are at 7-1. I'm looking it up right now.
No, Takanoiwa alone in the lead.
Yep, Takanoiwa alone there. Amanishiki, apparently the rumors of his demise have been greatly overblown, and as he is either 6-2 or 5-3, Mac's head is very much in the way.
He's a better door than a window there.
Yeah, he is 6-2.
Yeah, he just keeps on surprising me.
Yeah.
I think of the couple matches I saw, they were always with just kind of backing up and pushing down, like a Hataki Komi wins. But like he can do that just so well. Like I'm really impressed with that 6-2.
Get those cliches out there. Call him the crafty veteran, whatnot.
Hey, it works.
Exactly. I mean, he and Takekaze are kind of a bit of a contrast here because they try the same stuff, but only one of them's getting the wins.
Yeah, Takekaze at Juryo 1. He is 2-6. Amanishiki and Takekaze actually faced off yesterday, and it was just Amanishiki moving back at the Tachiai pretty much and pulling Takekaze down. Exactly what you would expect out of Amanishiki. But those are the main things going on in Juryo right now. Looks like Takanoiwa could very easily come away with the Yusho there, and it looks like he's probably going to be back up into the Makuuchi division come Aki.
Yeah, and that would Aki would mark basically the sixth tournament since the incident.
Yep.
Where he was injured in that bar brawl with Harumafuji. So, yeah, it's about time that he got back up to where he really belongs, because he was a Makuuchi mainstay for quite a while before that.
Yep. And just a quick update on the guys we're following in the lower divisions. Waka Ichiro in Sandanme is 1-3. Musashi Kuni in Makushita is 2-2, along with Enho in Makushita. He is 3-1. Yago in Juryo is doing very well for himself. He is 5-3. And then a couple other guys in Sandanme. Naya is 4-0, and Hoshoryu is 3-1. But we also have Fleric for an update on a guy we haven't hit on before, but a very notable fella getting a very important win.
Probably the most important win of the tournament so far, I would say.
Exactly. So something very special happened this basho. For the last 2.5 years, there's been a guy in Sumo known as Hattori Zakura, or as some call him, the Sumo Samurai, Hattori Zakura. But no, he's someone who joined Sumo about 2.5 years ago in Aki 2015. And what's notable about him is actually he's just never really won at all. He's won he had 16 Makikoshis in a row, and like he was coming into his basho was 131 losses, 1 win, 113 losses, and 1 withdrawal. So he had 0.009 win percent. It was pretty bad. And watching his matches, he's just not that good at sumo. But he's been kind of steadily getting a little bit better, but he's still just unfortunately not that great.
He's not a born athlete.
No.
We'll say that.
Yeah, he also has no size to him. He's one of the skinniest fellas you're going to see out there.
Yeah. But despite all these losses, he keeps on trying and he sticks with it. You got to give him that. Like 2.5 years of just straight up losing and still sticking with it, to me, is just really impressive. And
somebody that I know Ryan certainly looks up to as a perseverance with Ryan's effective 0.009% win rate in life. It's it's somebody that I think that Ryan really looks up to the guy, and it gives him something to strive for. Now that he's won, maybe Ryan can get a win.
I'm going to tell Gabby that you consider her a loss for me, and then you'll
that's your one.
No, that was the win.
That was the one win.
All right.
The only thing keeping you afloat.
Exactly. So, this basho, it finally paid off, and he got himself a win, or more so, the other guy just got himself a loss.
Yeah, you should look up the video because
the other guy pretty much just fell down.
It's not inspiring.
Yeah, It's not really inspiring, but it's definitely a milestone. He has a quote saying, "I never thought about quitting, and next he's going to aim for a kachikoshi."
So is he just like constantly the bottom-ranked guy in Jonokuchi?
Not always, because you get new people pretty much every basho.
Okay.
So he's usually kind of around the middle or so, near the end, I believe.
Okay.
Believe you can do it, little samurai. Believe.
Exactly. So keep trying. Hopefully you get your kachikoshi one day.
Yep.
That would be awesome to see.
Yes.
And if you keep your wins total as sparse as they have been, we will cover your every single win on this podcast.
That's a good point. Is there anybody else that we've spent this much time talking about 50% of their career wins?
I don't think so.
At least not in the upper ranks, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we are going... Actually, yeah, like Naya, Hoshoryu, we've talked about 100% of their wins.
Not each individual win, though.
That's fair. But yeah, so with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with our predictions update. We got a fun fact and some other things going on. And the lightning round.
Ooh.
Are you a Richie that wants to get out of the dojo for a while? Have you been in sumo so long that you don't have a valid license? Does your bike from your youth crumble under your impressive physique? You need one of Big Booma's bikes from Big Booma's Hefty Bikes Emporium. Hey there, Hayes, I'm Big Booma, and I want to send you riding away in your oversized bicycle today. Your Oyakata getting you down, a spin in a Big Booma bike will put that frown upside down. Don't let your wife's driving get in the way. Get a Big Booma bike and chase your cares away. Not a Sekitori? Then you don't have to worry. Our one and only sumo slamming approval process will get you going while your sumo career keeps on growing. Just smack your Tagata on the line and speed away in your Big Booma bike today. But our limited supply is going fast. Place your Big Booma bike order now at 805-613-7866 or go online at bigboomasbikes.com. That's bigboomasbikes.com. That's bigboomasbikes.com.
All likeness to official business is coincidental. No copyright infringement intended. We're just a sumo podcast. Akiway.
Welcome back, and we're going to start this segment of the episode with a new segment. So we'll head over to Mac and see what that's all about.
Our new segment is we are going to start highlighting some of the stables that our favorite rickshaw are coming from. The first stable is Shikiroyama Stable, and it is formerly of the Tokitsukaze Ichiman. It was established back in 2004 by former Sekiwake Terao Tsunefumi from the Izutsu Stable. It is located in Tokyo in the Koto Ward. The current head coach is Tatsugawa Toyohide. The Oyakata is Shikoroyama Tsuneyuki. And they are they're an independent Ichiman, so they're one of those rogue guys that aren't affiliated with anything. And their top three wrestlers are Abi up in Makuuchi. Down in Jiryo, they have Serio. And down in Makushita, they have Irodori.
Ah, so it's Abi's stable.
Indeed.
Is that why you chose them first? I'm just curious.
How dare you claim of this? No, it was completely random.
Max showing favoritism.
Completely random.
Yeah.
All right, well...
Ryan, Terao was the guy I was thinking of, who I'm pretty sure was the guy on commentary the other day.
Oh, in that audio recording that nobody besides us is ever going to hear?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it. But that's the guy that I was thinking of, and I thought it was worth noting.
All right, that's fair.
He is a current Shimpan.
There you go.
So he's one of the judges.
Indeed.
On the side.
All right, so we're going to do a quick predictions update. Currently, Mac is the only one with a point, as the aforementioned Abi got him a point for Kinboshi, and then all of the other Yokozuna ran and hid, so the rest of us couldn't get a Kinboshi point. Let's just ignore the fact that Shodai had already faced both of them and lost.
Yeah, so Mac is probably going to win again, is where you're kind of telling us?
He probably is, because he's got Mitaki Yumi for Yusho and special prize. And if,
something that looked kind of risky as a pick when we first took it.
I was told by several people that, why did you do that? Why didn't you pick any of the Ozeki? I'm like,
by several people, you mean the other three of us?
Yes.
On tape, on that episode.
Well, yes, maybe, but still.
And all the people in the streets wanting to know why he would do such
exactly.
a thing.
I'm sure Mac is just accosted in his public life.
Yes.
Indeed.
Looks like the only thing that might hold Mac back in this one is Tochinoshin obviously pulling out, so he won't get a Junisha point. And unfortunately, the spirit animal Chiyomaru not doing all that well right now. Probably not going to get a Kachikoshi. Jake's the only guy that's going to challenge him. Jake could get a special prize point and probably the Kachikoshi and Makekoshi point, which leaves Fleric and I fighting to not lose for the second basho in a row.
But I will note, Jake has to get 4 points. I have the tiebreaker.
Jake does have to get 4 points because Mac had...
That's Mac assuming
Abi
that he's getting
beating
3 points.
Kakuryu.
Come on, Mitaki-Yumi. Come on, Mitaki-Yumi.
I mean, if second week Mitaki Yumi shows up, Mac could be very well screwed.
Yeah, Mac doubled down by assuming that, or not assuming, but by predicting that Mitaki-Yumi would get both the win and the special prize. You can't really get a win without a special prize, but he might get a special prize without the win.
Mm-hmm.
So what's on the line here is somebody calling the winner Yokozuna and then their name, and the loser also has to write a nursery rhyme or two with some sumo themes substituted for the actual words.
I will note that I had such a profound amount of confidence in my picks that 2 days after the basho began, I have already written my poem, my nursery rhyme. So I was ready for the loss.
I feel like you should make whoever loses, you should make them read your poem as well.
Yes.
It's only
like
fitting.
this.
You put
I
in the
like this
work that we
plan.
should make it happen on the show.
Yep. But we're gonna jump over to fun facts real quick, and I believe I am the only one with a fun fact in
No
this
way.
episode.
I have one more. I have a random fun fact.
All right.
Ooh, Thunder Stolen.
I'm still going to go first. So if you follow Grand Sumo Breakdown on Twitter, you saw me complaining about Chio no Kuni getting 2 of his 4 wins as Fusen wins over each Yokozuna that pulled out. I was just complaining about that because I chose Chio no Kuni to get a Make Koshi, and so he got 2 free wins, which really doesn't help my cause. But I was curious how many times it has happened where a Rikishi got 2 Fusen wins over Yokozuna. And it looks like this has happened 3 times before. I got this information mostly from @SumoFollower on Twitter, so thank you for getting that information out there.
Thank you for doing the legwork for
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Actually will say that person is a wealth of sumo knowledge.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you
Absolutely.
so much.
They're a very good person to
Yeah, I believe
follow.
they're a Tachiai editor as well.
Yes, yeah. But it happened once at the Haru Basho in 1950. The Rikishi was Dewa Nishiki, and he beat Azuma Fuji and Haguro Yama by the Fusen wins. And his record ended up being 8-7.
Oh,
So
no.
he needed those 2 wins, and he was promoted to Komosubi. He went 3-12 the next basho.
Wow, so that's some
man.
that's some
That's
instant
clutch.
karma.
Yeah. So it happened again 49 years later at the Haru Basho in 1999. Tochi Nonada, he beat the brothers Nohana, Waka, and Taka on back-to-back days for Fusen wins.
The brothers Takanohana and Wakanohana.
Takanohana and Wakanohana.
Or in the
brothers
confusing way
Nohana.
that
Yeah.
Ryan phrases it.
The 2 Yokozunas, yeah.
Yes.
Of the 90s.
But yeah, he beat those guys back-to-back days, both Fusen victories. He ended up 9-6, so if both of those had been losses, he would have had a losing record. And he was promoted to Maegashira 2 the next basho, and the next basho he went 3-12.
So it looks like Chionokuni is on par to get like an 8-7, just barely pushed over the edge by those 2 wins, and then we'll get decimated in the next basho.
Well, we have one more. We only had to wait 2 more bashos in 1999 for it to
really?
happen again, because it happened in Aki of 1999 to Tamakasuga, and he beat Takanohana and Akebono on back-to-back days to get the 2 Fusen wins. He ended up 8-7, promoted to Maegashira 1 East, and the next basho he was
3-12?
3-12.
That's ridiculous. So not only do we know what's going to happen to Chionokuni, we know
This
the
basho.
record.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen this basho, and we know what's going to happen next basho to Chio no Kuni.
Wow, we need to get this in writing so that we've called our shot here.
We have it literally recorded.
Indeed.
My God, you're right.
All right, Mac, what do you got?
Well, we had talked before about when they were establishing the other Ichimans that you have to be of a certain rank. Terao was interesting in that he was a Sekiwake when he went to branch off. But another thing that is common when you are setting up your own stable is to take a set of followers with you. But what was interesting is from Izutsu, he took no one. He wanted to start completely from scratch and recruit from the local area and then build everything up.
So he started like with guys in Jonokuchi, like that were just starting then. Like
No,
he
not
did-
even then. He took nobody.
Right, that's what I mean. So like he started with wrestlers who were starting wrestling at the same time he was starting coaching. That's crazy.
That's very impressive to have 2 Sekitori already, and Abi as one who is as good as he is, already got 2 Kimboshi under his belt in such
Yeah.
a short time, because you said it started in 2004?
Yeah, 2004 was when this was established.
So 14 years. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that is actually kind of a long time. But when and all
Compared to
things
the other
considered,
stables, though, that have been around.
but all things considered, yeah, getting somebody who's got 2 wins, 2 legit wins over Yokozuna in that time frame, that's pretty cool.
Plus, you
Like
have another
Shinnokuni
up-and-comer
has 2
down in
fake
Jiryo,
wins.
and you got another one down in Makushita. So I would say that...
Perfectly respectable for a stable. That's awesome.
absolutely.
That's very interesting. All right, well, we're going to get a quick fantasy and ELO update from Jake.
Yeah, let's start off with our fantasy sumo. We had our Twitter follower Brett join us this time around, and we are continuing the trend of alternating between our guest killing us and our guest getting killed by us. And we are currently at the point in the cycle where Brett is ahead by 5 points. We're all like kind of in the mid-20s or so, and Brett is at 33. yeah, I wouldn't say he's lucked out. There's definitely quite a bit of strategy to his picks. He had a strategy that seemed kind of interesting to us, but it's worked out great because he's the only one with all of his wrestlers still wrestling.
Yeah.
So he took Mitake Yumi, Chiyotairyu, and Takanoiwa, and yeah, so his team is doing great. Everybody else has lost their first or their second pick, basically.
Yeah, doesn't help that I lost Tochinoshin, Jake lost Hakuho, and Fleric lost Kakuryu. I think Mac is still at full strength.
I'm still at full strength.
Okay.
But
well,
my
but
top
your team
contenders,
just sucks.
Well, hey, no, I got Asanoyama and Takayasu.
No, Mac hasn't lost anybody, and he is actually in second place.
Woo.
So there's that. But for our ELO power rankings, Mitake Yumi, obviously getting 8 wins in a row has been a huge boost. He is the highest active wrestler. Tochinoshin and Kakuryu are both at 1,100, when 1,000 is like our middle of the road Makuchi wrestler. So at 1,100, Tochinoshin and Kakuryu, now that they are out, they're not going to gain or lose any points until next time. Mitake Yumi, though, if he gets another win or two, he's going to pass them and be the highest active Rikishi. Takayasu is right behind him, just a couple points behind. One other interesting thing that I saw when I was sorting through our rankings here, Onosho and Asanoyama have gained the same number of points. Asanoyama, obviously, in that leadership run, he's at 7-1, but Onosho is at 5-3. But because Onosho is coming up from Juryo, he had a much lower rating to start. And if you're more of an underdog, you gain more points. So Onosho, by being an underdog, he doesn't have to do as well to get as many points. But I just thought that was kind of cool that those two are 2 wins apart, but they've gained the same number of points this tournament. So we'll see how that turns out by the end, and we'll get a more full summary in our recap episode.
All right, and let's move on to the lightning round.
Grand Sumo Breakdown patent pending lightning round.
All right, Mac, who has impressed you the most so far?
Thus far, it has to be Mitake Yumi. As previously mentioned, I didn't have all that much confidence in the picks that I had for the prediction series, hence the writing of the nursery rhyme. But in following Mitake Yumi, I've been impressed with his performance and have enjoyed watching his matches.
All right, what about you, Jake?
In the interest of not also picking Mitake Yumi, who's probably my legit pick, I'd say Endo. He did so poorly last time that going 7-1 right now is it's more than I expected of him.
Mm-hmm. Fleric, how about you?
I'll have to say the Dohyo. It's definitely living up to being a slippery basho. I think I've seen so many slips.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
one.
And I'm going to go with Asanoyama, a guy at the bottom ranks with the 7-1 record, and he's looking very good in putting that together. So I'm very excited to see his second week. In contrast, Jake, who has disappointed you the most so far?
Yoshikaze. We don't have anything obvious about like injuries that he is fighting through more than previous bashos. So this 0-8 it's more of a surprise because we have no news, and it's just disappointing to me.
How about you, Fleric?
I'm gonna have to go with Onosho. This mostly because I had super high expectations coming into this basho, but unfortunately he's just kind of middle of the pack. I believe at 4-4.
Yeah,
5-3, but
5-3.
but yeah, not as much as we were expecting.
Yeah, he was a guy, I believe John Gunning's pick to win the U show.
Really?
Yeah, and he is 5-3, but we were expecting him to just wipe the floor with his competition there. So probably a bit too much expectations for a young guy at this point, but
He could still easily get that 10-5 that he was known for.
He very easily can, but I'm going to go with Fleric. He's just not quite living to the highest expectations we were expecting. What about you, Mac?
Ryuden has been a disappointment for me. Being as low as he is in the rankings and with as much potential as he has, at this point I've been expecting a lot more from him, and he's just not there.
I've been liking some of his matches though.
Oh, I've
He's
been
getting some
liking
good
them.
wins.
It's just he's not. The win just isn't coming, and that to me has been really disheartening.
Yeah, he's not being as dominating.
Are Mac and Ryuden on the outs with each other? We'll find out on the review episode. Fleric, what has been your favorite match of the basho so far?
I'm going to go with Ishiro versus Ryuden. When we're kind of talking about some really good matches, it was mostly because I like seeing Ishiro kind of pull out some kind of tricky moves, and the memory of that one is like they kind of locked together for a while, but then Ishiro kind of was able to get in there and do like a little throw him down at the end. And I really
Very
enjoyed
technical.
that match.
It was awesome.
Not my favorite, but a sneaky move by Ishiura on day 7 against Aoyama. One of the better Henkas we've
gosh.
seen in a little
Perfect.
while.
Textbook.
Are you saying that Henka is like your favorite, most exciting match?
No, I said this is not my exciting match. But speaking of Ishiura, I felt it was necessary.
It was
to
worth
bring
noting
up.
because
Okay,
it was
yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
Aoyama, you got to know better. It's Ishihara,
Exactly.
dude.
The bigger an opponent that Ishihara
It was
is facing,
so
the more
blatant.
likely he is to do something like that.
You don't go full speed at the
No.
guy. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
He just dove face first into the dohyo.
But you have to admit,
it was
that,
beautiful.
that was just a gorgeous
It
dive.
was gorgeous. 10 out of 10 on the dive there. Actually, in contrast, my favorite match of the basho was on day 3, Endo versus Chiyoshoma. Chiyoshima went for a Henka against Endo, and Endo was having none of that. He grabbed at Chiyoshima, spun him around, and slammed him heartily onto the ground. Just a very satisfying match. One, because I like Endo this basho randomly, and I've hated Chiyoshima for a while now.
Ever
so.
since he punched Hokuto Fuji in the face for that mata.
Yep, exactly. So that's my favorite match. How about you, Mac?
For me, it was on day 4, Kakuryu versus Abi, and it's not because of my prediction. It's because Abi was Kakuryu's attendant, and Abi was able to beat him. After Kakuryu had him up against the side of the dohyo with all his slaps, Abi surges and then kicks him right out of the ring.
That's a really good point. That's kind of cool. He kind of got his revenge. Like, this is
Indeed.
for making me fold your laundry for such a long time.
Exactly. I was like,
And
yes.
that probably hazing that we don't talk about
No,
anymore.
no.
Exactly, yeah.
I am going to pick the best match of the basho because all of you are damn insane for not picking this one. Chiyo versus Takayasu was that's probably the match of the year for me. That was spectacular. Back and forth. Chiyo finally gets Takayasu to the edge. Takayasu reverses it. Chiyo goes full splits, probably brushes his butt across the top of the sand. He gets that low. And then he manages to stand back up and finish Takayasu off. It was amazing.
That was pretty cool.
The best part about that match is Takayasu thought he had it won. Because why would you expect somebody to be able to recover from that? But he just turned his back, was just ready to walk over, do the bow, receive his kensho. But Chiyo got back up.
Managed to survive without tearing his groin apart like he did last time he did the splits a couple years ago.
Against Aoyama, yep.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't just the splits and the finish. That was an amazing match
Leading up to it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Start to finish, absolute favorite. You guys all picked wrong.
Yeah, it's almost like we had a conversation before the podcast to discuss different matches, so we all didn't talk about that one.
Yeah, but I had the last pick and I got the best match, so whatever.
All right. And the most exciting potential matchup moving forward, I mean, this isn't a potential matchup, and I'm going to take the easy pickings, but Mitake versus Takayasu, seeing if he could continue his role into the second week and going up against his strongest competitor that he will have. Be very interesting to see what's on the line in that matchup. If Mitake drops one or two, that could be a very influential match, and just to see if Mitake has it in him to take down the Ozeki to possibly get the Yusho. What about you, Mac?
And see, for me, I'm also picking a Mitake match, but it's against Goedo. We've seen Goedo win before. We've seen him take a Yusho, so I think he's the biggest threat to Mitake claiming the Yusho. It'll be interesting to see if Goedo is the second week Goedo that we all know and fear, or in some cases enjoy because we pick against him, or if he will actually get his act together and perform well in the second week. So I think that's going to be Mitake biggest obstacle.
I gotta say the same one as Mac there. I can't be that original on this one because it is absolutely the one I'm looking most forward to. Not because of the Yusho race implications necessarily, but I think Mitake versus Goedo is it's got far more important stakes than the Yusho because the stakes of that match are who is going to be the butt of the jokes going forward for the guy who chokes in the second week, and that's way more important than just some silly Yusho win.
Exactly.
All right, you guys are all crazy because the most exciting Mitake matchup is not going to be against those guys, but against versus Kaisei.
Oh,
Kaisei.
Kaisei has actually had
Interesting.
this number in every single match they've done.
Really? How many is that?
It's currently 0-4 against.
Wow. Interesting.
So I think it's going to be, if he wants any kind of wine to win the Yusho, he has to get past Kaisei.
That's
is-
like Tochinoshin versus Hakuho. It's the guy that he has to beat for it really to count, right?
Exactly.
25.
Do we know that those two are going to face off? I know that Kaisei's a Maegashira 5. He might not necessarily face off against all the Sanyaku.
That's a very
Does he
good
have the
point.
record?
Missing
to
that many
face him?
guys up top, though. I mean, if both of them are still near the top, I would expect him to face each
Yeah.
other.
Kaisei's in the joy. He's
Okay.
he's
Oh.
Maegashira 4, especially with people dropping out.
Okay, yeah,
It's
he's
gonna
yeah,
happen.
that 5.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
And especially because Kaisei is obviously going to be in the Yusho race as well, right?
for sure.
Right, guys?
5 and 3.
Right? Maybe?
He's not in the top
Maybe.
5 people right now.
Please?
No, maybe.
He's in my
maybe.
top 5, Ryan.
But hey, we have to give it to him because Ikyo is not doing all that great. We have
No,
to
he's
give
not.
Jake something.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up.
All right, and Mac, next question is for you. Are you ready for another wedding quiz?
Again?
All right,
I don't
Mac.
want this.
This one isn't quite as lightning as most lightning rounds, but we got to get more wedding crap in because we only have one more episode after this before your
Why?
wedding.
Yeah. All right, Mac. When did the white wedding gown traditionally worn by brides come into popularity? Was it the 1840s when Queen Victoria wore it? The 1940s when Queen Elizabeth II wore it? The 1760s when King George III's bride, Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, wore it? Or in 2010s when Kim Kardashian wore it?
1940s.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is
The first one, then.
the first one, yes. But it's too late.
It was
You
one of the
already
queens.
got it wrong. All right, Mac. Which of the following...
Oh, yeah, these are all for you, by the way.
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
figured.
Not really a round anymore.
I was like, wait a minute.
Which of the following is not a possible origin for the wedding veil?
Uh-oh.
A. The veil was used to obscure the bride's features during arranged marriages. The veil was only lifted after the marriage ceremony was completed. This was to keep the groom from backing out if he did not like what he saw.
That's too crazy to not be true.
Whoa.
B. The ancient Romans used the veil to cover the bride's face in order to protect her from evil spirits who were jealous of her happiness and seeking to disrupt the union. Or C.
Also crazy enough that it can't be false.
Or C. During Viking wedding ceremonies, the veil was used to protect the bride's face from blood during a sacrifice used to summon the attention of the gods and goddesses of fertility. For Freya, a sow would be sacrificed, and for Freyr, a boar or a horse would be sacrificed.
And D, all of the
So
above.
which one is not true?
Whoa.
is
Out
the
of those
question.
three, which one is not true?
Which one is not true? I would say that the one that is not true is the first one, with the ugly arranged marriage one.
That is incorrect.
Nuts.
The Viking wedding ceremony is the incorrect one. Everything that
Viking women don't care about blood on their face. Come on.
Exactly. Everything that I described
How do you know
happens
that, Jake?
except for the veil to protect the women from blood.
Wow.
All right.
And you're a Minnesota Vikings fan. You should know better than this. There will be blood on everyone at your wedding.
We're in the unholy place. We're in Wisconsin.
exactly,
right.
which is why there will be plenty of blood.
Yeah. Between the two sides of the aisle, the Vikings and the Packers.
Indeed, there will be blood.
All right. Number 3, you often hear about the bride needing something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue come the wedding day. Which of the following statements is incorrect?
Oh, come on.
A, something old represents the ties to the bride's family and her past. B, something new represents a life to come with her husband. C, something borrowed represents a unity between families and the communal aspect of marriage. Or D, something blue stands for purity.
I'm going to phone the audience here.
No.
You put that away.
This is a lightning round. Lightning round, Mac. We need an answer.
E.
That is incorrect. It is C. Something borrowed does not represent unity between families in a communal aspect. Something borrowed is supposed to come from a bride who is already in a successful marriage to offer good luck to the bride and her future marriage.
Why would I know any of this about
That's the point. You did too good on the last one. You did this to yourself, Mac.
That wasn't my fault.
The pendulum has swung the other way as far as degree of difficulty.
Oh, man.
All right.
For the record, I got 2 of the 3 of those right when we were testing
That
these
is
out.
correct.
So
All right, Mac.
I guess I'm the better groom.
Yeah.
No, bride, maybe?
I
You're the better
win?
bride?
We
Shut
got
up.
2 more, Mac.
Shut up.
These are going to be true or false, though.
Oh, no.
So, true or false? 2 wedding traditions can actually be pinpointed to one medieval tradition, the wedding meat pie. The cake actually used to be an extravagant meat pie that would be filled with many different meats representing fertility and purity, one of which was the dove. The pie was also used to represent the first joint task in married life. The groom would hunt the animals used in the pie, and the wife would assemble and bake the pie. Over time, the meat pie branched out to become the wedding cake, where cutting the cake symbolizes the first joint task in marriage, and the release of doves represents the wedding couple beginning their lives together in purity.
True.
That is false. There was a wedding meat pie, but it has nothing to do with cake and doves.
But why doesn't it have anything to do with cake and doves? Cake is delicious, and doves can have their heads bitten off by Ozzy Osbourne.
That is very true. No, that was a bat, wasn't it?
He also bit the head off a dove.
That's fair.
It's his thing.
Yeah. All right, last one, Mac. True or false? The best in best man once referred to the quality of a man's swordsmanship. The groom needed a good swordsman to help either retrieve a runaway bride or fend off a bride's angry family that may not approve of the union.
False?
That is true.
Oh, wow.
That-
Weddings were gruesome.
Mac goes 0-5, and I'm a happy man. All right, Flerick, who's going to win it?
Oh, we're
The
talking
man
about
who
sumo
wasn't
again.
paying
Yes.
attention.
Sumo or
sorry.
the wedding?
Well, it's obvious. The Vikings are going to win the wedding.
Yes. But Sumo, who's going to win the basho, Flerick?
I gotta believe in Mitake Yumi.
All right.
Any backup to that, or we just
Lightning round?
All right, fair enough.
All right.
all right, Jake? Takayasu.
Mitake Yumi.
I'm also going to go with Takayasu on this one.
It's finally his time.
Yes.
No, this could be Mitake Yumi's moment.
It could
We'll have to break the streak of second week Mitake at least once before I can get behind him.
Yeah.
Fine.
Even with the promising start, I think Takayasu maybe one more loss, but I think he's got it.
Yep, I'm with Jake on that one. But with that is going to wrap up this episode. So if you enjoy this podcast, you can rate us on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service. Give us a 5-star review if you like us.
You can find us on Twitter and on Facebook, Grand Sumo Breakdown.
You can check out our blog, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com, for more details on our fantasy and power rankings.
If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
All right, we'll see you in a week for the review episode for the Nagoya basho.
No more questions on weddings, please.
We'll
Too
see
bad.
about that. Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.